let's talk about that gap. You know the one. The huge space between thinking about doing something and actually finally getting up and doing it. This is all about closing that gap. It's about turning all that talk into action and really seizing your day, starting right now. Think about it. It all starts the second your eyes open in the morning. That very first decision you make, it sets the entire tone for your day. It's a simple, fundamental choice that defines everything that's about to happen.
And here's the choice, laid out plain and simple. On one hand, you can stay in bed, hit that snooze button, and just dream about the life you want. Or on the other hand, you can throw off the covers and go pursue it. So the question is, are you going to choose passive wishing, or are you going to choose active creation?
So where does this all kick off? Well, it starts with the very first battle of the day, one we're all a little too familiar with, the fight against the snooze button. Now, this is such a powerful way to reframe that tiny little action. Hitting snooze isn't just about grabbing 10 more minutes of sleep. No, it's you actively making a decision to move backwards, away from what you want. You're literally putting a delay on your own success before your feet have even hit the floor.
And you know, that one small decision, it often just opens the floodgates for the next big roadblock. Because right after the snooze button comes the real enemy, the one inside your own head.
And that voice in your head, it speaks a pretty familiar language, doesn't it? Ugh, I'm just too tired. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just not a morning person. Let's be honest, these aren't real reasons. They're just excuses we tell ourselves to stay exactly where we are, nice and safe inside our comfort zone.
And here it is, the hard truth. This just cuts right to the chase. It shifts all the focus away from blaming things outside of your control and puts the responsibility right back where it belongs, on you. Your situation right now, it's not about your circumstances. It's the sum of your choices. This is what leads to what the source material calls a pity party. And I just love this definition. A pity party isn't just feeling sad for yourself. It's an undisciplined mind actively choosing to just loop on all the negative stuff, complaining about what's wrong, instead of creating a plan to make it right. Okay, so if excuses and pity parties are the problem, what's the solution? Well, it starts with forging a completely new way of thinking, what we're going to call the lion's mentality.
To really get this new mindset, let's chew on this question for a second. You've got a jungle filled with animals that are bigger, way faster, and a lot smarter. So how in the world does the lion end up as the king?
This table just breaks it down perfectly. The elephant is bigger, it's smarter. On paper, it should dominate, no question. But the lion's secret weapon, its key differentiator, it isn't physical at all. It is all about its mentality. And this slide, this captures the power of that mentality perfectly. It's all about perspective. When the lion sees that massive elephant, it thinks one thing, lunch. But when the elephant sees that much smaller lion, it thinks run. Same exact situation, but the mindset determines the entire outcome. And here's the crucial takeaway. The lion's mentality isn't about waiting until you feel powerful. It's about being driven by your process. Real champions don't rely on being in the mood. They rely on their discipline, on their routine. They get up and they execute, whether they feel like it or not.
But look, having the right mindset is only half the battle. Now you actually have to put it into practice with relentless, consistent action. This is where the grind becomes the goal itself.
This is where the real work happens. All the good stuff, growth, progress, achievement, it all lives just outside of your comfort zone. The grind is about intentionally putting yourself in that state of discomfort so you're forced to adapt and get better.
And here's the formula for that grind. It's a simple, repeatable cycle. First, you decide. Then you commit. You act. You succeed. And then, and this is the most important step of all, you repeat over and over and over again.
And why is that repetition so critical? Because of this right here. Consistency will always beat talent in the long run. The person who just shows up every single day will eventually blow past the gifted person who only shows up when they feel inspired.
This is the mantra of the grind. Your feelings of fatigue, they're irrelevant. The mission is what matters. The finish line isn't when you feel exhausted. The finish line is when the job is complete. All right, finally, let's talk about the non-negotiable part of this whole equation. Greatness isn't free. It's not a gift. There is always a price to be paid.
And as you can see, that cost is paid in real, tangible currency. It's your time, your energy,
your resources, it's sacrifice, it's even your sleep. You have to be willing to pay a price that most other people just won't.
This is the stark reality of the whole pursuit. Winning demands 100% of you, and then it asks for even more. And here's the real catch. There are no guarantees. You pay the full price up front, with no absolute promise of a return on your investment. And that's exactly why so few people are willing to do it.
And this is what makes it all so urgent. You only get one shot at this thing. There are no do-overs. Every single day that you decide to wait is a day that you can never, ever get back.
So really, this whole entire message boils down to this one single direct challenge. The clock is ticking. The question is no longer what to do. The question is, what are you going to do about it?
And so we end right here. After all this, the question isn't for me to answer. It's for you. What now? The next move is yours.